You turned another page of your book, the story nearly reaching its end, and your mind was already wandering to what you might read next. You sat on the king-size bed, back resting against the frame, legs stretched out and crossed at the ankles. Your floral dress brushed your knees, and your glasses perched neatly on your nose as your eyes followed every word. But just as you were about to turn the page, a sudden movement made you flinch. The door opened without warning, snapping your head in that direction. Your eyes widened slightly as you saw Jungkook standing there. His face was calm, soft even, but you could sense the tension in him, the tightness in his jaw and the slight clench of his hands. He noticed how visibly you had flinched the moment he stepped inside, and it tightened something in his chest. Yin, oh, you're home early, you said, voice barely above a whisper, caught between surprise and curiosity. It hadn't even been 2 hours since he left, and here he was, stepping into the room. Jungkook, can't I come early to see my wife? His voice was gentle. As he teased, you shifted awkwardly, trying to sit up straighter on the bed, half lying, half sitting. Yin, oh yes, you can, you stammered, a small blush creeping onto your cheeks. Jungkook, what are you doing? He asked, stepping closer, his presence looming comfortably over you as he stood beside your legs. Yin, just reading, you murmured, fingers still gripping your book, eyes flicking nervously to him. He smiled softly, the kind of smile that made your heart squeeze. He loved seeing you immersed in something you adored, and he noticed how you had edged closer to his side of the bed. It made his heart skip a beat. Jungkook, can I sit beside you? He asked, lowering himself gently onto the bed. Yin, oh, of course, it's your bed. Why do you need to ask for permission? Jungkook, of course I have to, he said. I'm the one disturbing you here, and it's your bed before mine. A tiny, genuine smile tugged at your lips. You tried to hide it by lowering your gaze, but he noticed it immediately. Of course, his smile deepened. He settled on the bed, and before you could move your legs to pull them under yourself, his hands were quicker. They guided your legs gently onto his thighs, holding them in place as he settled himself in front of you. So close, so impossibly close that your breath caught. Yin, oh no, it's okay. You tried to pull back slightly, but his pleading gaze pinned you. The way he looked at you made your spine shiver. Jungkook, let's sit like this, he whispered. Your legs twitched slightly under his touch as his hands moved slowly over your bare skin, fingers caressing your feet and toes. His eyes stayed locked on them as he spoke, voice low and intimate. Jungkook, have you eaten? He asked, completely aware of the subtle reactions he was eliciting from you. You swallowed hard. Yin, I have. You? He shook his head. He hadn't eaten breakfast this morning, and you had assumed he would at the office. But here he was, back home early, just for you. Yin, it's okay. Let me make you something, you said, shifting as if to stand. But before you could, his hand reached out and gently held your ankle. Jungkook, continue reading, Yin. I'll make it myself. You froze for a moment, feeling the heat of his grip. His fingers brushed lightly over your bare legs, then, tracing soft patterns under the hem of your dress to rest just above your knees. The motion was intimate, as if he was teasing your skin, and your body responded without permission. Your head tilted back unconsciously, eyes closing at the gentle touch. He noticed every subtle reaction. He watched you intently, the way your skin trembled under his touch, the gentle arch of your back, the tiny shift of your hands on the book. Jungkook, your legs are so smooth, he said, his voice tempting enough that it made your heart skip a beat. You laughed softly, nervous and flustered, unsure of how to respond to such attention. He smiled at the sound, the corners of his lips curling with excitement and quiet affection. Jungkook, do you want to go on a date today? He asked, fingers still moving lightly on your thighs, teasing, exploring, but never crossing a line. You bit your lip, heart fluttering. Yin, I have a lot of work today. I really want to, but it's a deadline, you whispered, eyes glued to the pages of your book, pretending to focus while your pulse raced. He lowered his head slightly, continuing to play with the curves of your legs. He noticed how you tried to maintain control, how your body twitched under his fingers yet you didn't pull away fully. And deep down, he loved that you refused him, that you weren't bending to every little whim, that you kept your independence even when he wanted nothing more than to pull you close. The way you allowed him just enough closeness without giving in completely. Jungkook, then, can I make you dinner tonight? He asked instead. He knew you loved cooking, knew this was something you wouldn't refuse. Yin, okay, sure. His smile deepened, and before you could react, he leaned down, lifting your right foot slightly to press a gentle kiss just below your toes. Jungkook. A shiver ran through your body, goosebumps rising along your skin, and you bit your lips to suppress a sound, heart thundering in your chest. Jungkook, I'm sleepy, he murmured after a moment, lying down beside you with his head resting against your thighs, arms loosely embracing your legs. Can I please sleep like this? Yin, you can, you whispered, placing a hand over your heart to steady the rapid thumping of your pulse. Jungkook, can you play with my hair? He asked softly, tilting his head expectantly. Without a word, your fingers threaded through his dark hair, stroking gently. He hummed softly, leaning slightly into your touch, letting out quiet sighs of contentment. He was fully aware of the small distance you kept at times, the subtle hesitation in your body, but he understood the unspoken permission in your reactions. You leaned back just slightly at moments, as if retreating, but never fully. Your body still welcomed him, still allowed him access. That delicate push and pull, the soft, teasing resistance mixed with your quiet consent, told him everything. He knew then that your reactions weren't discomfort, they were small steps of trust, and he vowed silently to respect it. It was almost evening. Dinner was already done, the dishes cleared, and the house had fallen into that warm, quiet after-dinner silence. Jungkook was in the washroom showering, and you stood in front of the vanity table, gently patting moisturizer onto your skin. The mirror reflected your calm face, but inside your stomach, a soft, restless flutter twisted again and again. You couldn't ignore it anymore. Jungkook had been too close today. At the dinner table, he kept leaning toward you, brushing your hand, refilling your plate before you even asked. He had tried feeding you a piece of sushi, his fingers brushing your lips. He held your wrist for a second too long, his thumb rubbing circles on your skin as if he didn't want to let go. It was his habit to care, but recently it was too much, too direct, too intimate. Yin, ugh, what is wrong with him? You whispered under your breath, staring at yourself in the mirror. You didn't want to admit it out loud, but you had always been scared of him, your cold, unreadable husband. The closeness terrified you, and you hated how his warmth was slowly destroying that fear. Suddenly, the bathroom door creaked open. You froze, your breath caught in your throat when your eyes shifted to the mirror, and you saw him. Jungkook stepped out with nothing but a towel wrapped low around his waist, water glistening on his chest, droplets sliding down his abs. His hair was wet, messy, falling onto his forehead while he rubbed it with a small towel. He switched off the bright bathroom lights and walked into the room with that slow, heavy aura that always made your stomach twist. His eyes found you instantly. Jungkook, hey, he said softly, your lips parted. You didn't speak for several seconds. You had never, in your entire Mariag, seen him come out of the shower like this. Yin, why? Why are you only in a towel? You asked bluntly. A faint smile curved his lips as he caught the mix of awe, curiosity, and hidden embarrassment in your eyes. Jungkook, because my clothes are in the wardrobe, he said, tossing the hand towel into the laundry basket without breaking eye contact. You could feel your own eyes trying to look away, but they kept dragging back to him. The water, the muscles, the bare skin. But instead of moving towards the wardrobe, he began approaching you. Yin, let me pass them to you. Then you said quickly, stepping back, your back faced him, trying to escape. He knew exactly what you were doing, and he wasn't letting you go. Jungkook, come here. His voice dropped low, so low it vibrated through your chest before his hands even touched you. Then his arms wrapped around your waist from behind, pulling you back into his warm, damp chest. Yin, hey, you breathed out startled, your hands immediately grabbing his wrists, but his arms tightened, not painfully, just tight enough to keep you from moving away. You felt everything, the heat of his body, the water on his skin, the solid strength of his chest pressing into your back. Your stomach tightened painfully, your breath catching when he lowered his chin to your shoulder. Then slowly, almost lazily, he nuzzled into your neck. Your eyes fluttered shut as the faint scrape of his jaw sent a shiver down your spine. Jungkook, you're always trying to run from me, he murmured. Am I that bad? Your breath shuddered. Yin, huh? No, when did I say that? He didn't respond. Instead, he inhaled deeply against the side of your throat, sniffing you, like he needed your scent, like he'd been starving for it. The sound that slipped from your throat was barely audible. Your knees weakened, body softening against him. Yin, please, stop, you whispered, but it didn't sound like a command. It sounded like a plea. You didn't even believe yourself. His lips ghosted along the shell of your ear. Jungkook, Why? He whispered. Does it make you nervous when I touch you? His hold tightened just a little more. You didn't say anything because honestly, it was true. He noticed your expression in the mirror, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips as he watched you. Jungkook, stop. Why? He murmured again, his fingers brushing softly over your stomach, sending a shiver straight through you. The touch was gentle, teasing, and it made you dizzy in the sweetest way. You loved how he never commented on how much you were reacting, how he just let you have the moment, letting the quiet tension build. Yin, I was doing my skincare, and I can't. You're holding me like this, you whispered, trying to sound casual, though your stomach flipped at his nearness. He pressed his lips together, hiding a mischievous smile. Jungkook, oh, you absolutely can, baby. Here. He handed you the lotion bottle you had been holding, and your fingers closed tightly around it. Jungkook, can you help me too? He asked, holding out his hands, palms open. My skin, it's dry too. You blinked, twisting the cap open, and carefully poured a few drops onto your hands. You began running the lotion over his palms and arms, your touch gentle. His face got buried in your neck, and a quiet groan escaped him as his body jolted at your movements. Jungkook, oh, I love this. Yin, it's just lotion, you whispered, though your cheeks warmed. He chuckled quietly, biting his lips as he guided you to sit on the stool. Jungkook, my chest, it's feeling dry too, he added, squeezing some lotion onto his skin and leaning your hand slightly toward him. You knew exactly what he wanted, and your hands rose instinctively to rub it over his chest. His expression was priceless, part pleasure, part mischief, and your breath hitched at the way he shivered under your touch. Yin, it's done, you said quickly, pulling your hands away. He was clearly breathing harder, his chest rising and falling rapidly, and you didn't want things to get out of control. He pouted, wanting more, but then his eyes glinted as he suddenly knelt in front of you. Jungkook, let me return your favor, he said softly, holding your legs and squeezing a bit of lotion onto your calves. Yin, I can do it on my own. Jungkook, wait, you began, but your words caught in your throat as his hands rubbed over your skin. Your grip on the stool tightened instinctively. Jungkook, you're sensitive, he teased, tilting his head, his eyes full of mischief and adoration. Yin, I'm not, you tried to protest, tried to pull away slightly, but failed. He leaned closer, studying your reactions like a predator adoring its prey. Jungkook, I'm what? Yin, his lips brushed against your knee, pressing a soft, teasing kiss that made your fingers dig into his shoulders instinctively. Jungkook, can't I touch my wife, just a little? He whispered, pressing another kiss to your knee, this time slightly open-mouthed, his gaze lifting to yours with playful heat. Yin, Jungkook, please, stop, you whispered, heart hammering in your chest, caught between wanting him to and wanting him to stop. He bit his lips, watching you like you were the most delicate thing in the world. How much he loved seeing you helpless under his touch. How your face had turned a soft, fiery red. How you tried so hard to hide the small sounds escaping you. Every little reaction of yours made his chest tighten with desire and affection. Jungkook, all right, I'm sorry, he whispered, almost teasing as he began to pull back. But before fully moving away, he let his lips trail lightly over your thigh, kissing upward slowly, touching the middle of your elbow, grazing your shoulder, and then resting softly on your throat. Your whole body trembled, each tiny kiss sending shivers through you. Jungkook, tell me you don't like this, he murmured, brushing his nose gently along your collarbone. You don't like being touched when it's me. His eyes searched yours patiently as he added, Jungkook, push me. Yin, I'll stop, right now. Your comfort is all that matters to me. He balanced himself with his hands on either side of your stool, hovering just above you, and kissed lightly under your chin. His words were serious, but you knew he was teasing, that he had no intention of stopping. Please, push me, he urged softly, his gaze never leaving yours. You wanted to, you truly did, but how could you when his touch made your body burn in ways you had never known? The way his lips and hands moved over you, the weight of him so close, it made you tremble uncontrollably. Your eyes closed, and instinctively, you leaned your forehead against his, lips parting slightly as your hands clutched his shoulders. Yin, I like it, but, you whispered, the words barely escaping as your heart raced. He nudged your nose softly with his, a small, encouraging smile playing at his lips. Jungkook, but what? Tell me, he murmured, coaxing you to speak. Yin, it's just it feels too much. you admitted, your voice shaking slightly. I don't want to react to much, but when you touch me, it's like, Your words faltered, unsure how to explain the fire running through your body, how every inch of you seemed to come alive with desire, how your skin tingled and trembled under his hands. He smiled gently, cupping your face with one hand as his other rested against your waist. Jungkook, it's okay, take your time. Tell me everything. I just want to make sure I don't make you uncomfortable. Then, suddenly, he leaned closer, guiding you so, your arms wrapped around his shoulders as he scooped you up, holding your thighs securely. You clutched him tightly, feeling the warmth of his chest against yours as he lifted you from the stool in a soft, secure embrace. In his arms, you felt safe, yet aflame with sensation. He carried you to the bed and laid you down gently, hovering above you, his elbows resting lightly on the mattress beside your head. A soft, playful smile curved his lips as his fingers threaded through your hair, gentle and teasing at the same time. His lips found yours in a trail of soft, loving kisses, first on your forehead, then your nose, your eyelids, your cheeks. Jungkook, I'll wait, Yin, he whispered, his lips brushing against your temple. Jungkook, I'll wait until you can tell me how you feel freely. We'll never rush, never ever. You hear me? You nodded slightly, your heart clenching at the sincerity in his eyes. I love you so much, he murmured again, his forehead resting against yours, holding you close. You swallowed hard, your chest tightening as the words tumbled out before you could stop them. Yin, I was scared of you, but not anymore. You immediately tried to cover your confession, to deny it as if saying it aloud made it fragile. Jungkook's hand cupped your cheek, his other thumb brushing softly over your forehead while his fingers threaded gently through your hair. Jungkook, you're really not anymore. Yin, yes, not anymore, you repeated. It's just I thought, when you touch me, I feel like retreating, but the more you touch me, the more I don't know, it doesn't feel normal, it feels different. It's not like anything I've ever felt before. Jungkook, it is, Yin, it's normal, it's all normal, he said softly, his own voice betraying the way his heart clenched at your words. His face heated as he looked at you. There was something so beautiful about your honesty, your openness, that it made him ache with love. Jungkook, I love you, he whispered suddenly. I love touching you, feeling you close, hearing your voice, seeing your little reactions. This need for you, these feelings I can't control. I thought they weren't normal either, but they are. Yin, they're normal because I love you, because everything I feel for you is real, and it's all you. Your eyes widened at his words. Yin, so that means I love you too, you whispered, a shy, stunned smile spreading across your face. He chuckled softly, hiding his face in the crook of your neck. His heartbeat was loud against yours, and the way your innocence and honesty made him feel, it was almost too much to bear. Jungkook, do you love me? He asked, his voice muffled but desperate for the truth. Yin, I think I do. Jungkook, think? His eyes lifted to meet yours, his expression a mixture of disbelief and longing, his heart skipping beats at your words. You giggled, a light, musical sound that made him lose all sense of counting his heartbeats. Yin, I mean it, I do love you. I love you. Jungkook, he bit his lip, his eyes darkening with desire. Jungkook, say that again please, he whispered, almost pleading. Yin, I love you, you repeated softly. Jungkook, right in my ear, he murmured, tilting his head slightly, exposing the delicate curve of his ear. You smiled, leaning in and whispering, Yin, I love you. Jungkook, you're my favorite human. And then, almost shyly, you kissed his ear. His eyes fluttered closed at the sensation, a small shiver running through him, but he couldn't hide the wide smile that spread across his face. Jungkook, thank you, baby. You don't know how happy I am right now. For a long moment, he just stayed like that, his eyes drinking in yours, his fingers tangled in your hair as if holding onto you could somehow keep time from moving. And then, his gaze slowly drifted down to your lips, lingering just for a heartbeat, before snapping back up to meet your eyes. Jungkook, can I kiss you please? He whispered. You felt your heart skip a beat, your breath catching in your throat, and yet you nodded without hesitation, your hands instinctively clutching his arms. Yin, yes, you can, you murmured. I would love that. A slow smile spread across his lips, and for a brief second, he just hovered there, close enough that you could feel his breath on your lips. And then he leaned in, brushing his lips over yours with the gentlest, dizzying pressure. Your arms, which had been tense, loosened against his body, and you instinctively parted your lips, inviting him in. He tilted his head, deepening the kiss, his eyes closing tight as he pressed closer, resting his weight gently against you. His hands tightened slightly in your hair, scratching just enough to make your spine shiver, while his right hand cupped your jaw, tilting your face so that you melted into him completely. A soft breath escaped you, and a tiny shiver ran through your body. Yin, kiss my neck too, you whispered, almost begging. He paused for a second, his lips curved into a slow, mischievous smile. Jungkook, as you say, my love, he murmured, before trailing his lips down your neck. The way your body reacted made him slow his pace. He knew you were still adjusting, still overwhelmed by how sensitive you were to his touch. Every kiss, every feather-light nip, every gentle brush of his lips was a silent promise that he wasn't rushing, that he was there for you, for every heartbeat, every sigh. You trembled under his touch, letting out a soft, shaky breath. Yin, enough, please, stop. He paused instantly, pulling back just enough to meet your gaze. Jungkook, okay, we will take it slow, he whispered, a small smile tugging at his lips. Then, almost gently, he leaned back in, pressing his lips to yours once more, soft and slow, giving you the space to kiss him back, to melt into him as you wanted. There was no hurry, no noise, just the two of you, breathing, touching, tasting, feeling. Every kiss, every brush of skin, told you that he would always wait for you, love you in every way, and cherish every moment you let him in.